Hello, everyone. My name is Annie, and I am the founder of the Christian Business Directory. I'm back at you again with Kingdom Spotlight Season 2. Today, I have Nancy with me, and we're just going to get right on into it. So, Nancy, please tell us what led you into the field that you're in, and how did God guide that path for you?
Well, thank you so much, Anne, for having me on this platform. I appreciate you taking the time to just reach out to entrepreneurs like myself, and especially in the Christian background, to come and just, service your community. So how I got into the life insurance industry. So I didn't even think, it's funny, I never even thought of myself as a life insurance agent. Growing up in my family, I was always considered like the money manager girl, the responsible one, my sisters had daycare, so I was the person doing payroll and always the organizer of the family. So I was leaning more into that role. I went to school for accounting to become a CPA, actually, but I took a detour when I started my family. So I decided to be a stay-at-home mom and just focus on raising my children and get a work that wasn't to find work that wasn't so demanding. Right, because being a CPA and commuting back into the city was very demanding, working long hours. So I just decided to just be a stay-at-home mom and just focus on raising my children. And I ended up working as account manager for a financial printing company. And I did that for about like 6 years, and up to COVID, actually. So COVID, I'm sure a lot of people could agree that it was a blessing and a curse, right? So it gave me a lot of time to reflect and realize, am I really satisfied? Am I really content with what I'm doing in this career? And the answer was no. So I decided to leave that position as account manager and to find myself doing something important to me, to pour into my business and what I was good at. So, and I leaned more into CFP was more checking those boxes for me. Like, what can I do that could give an impact to my community, right? So CFP was more, and CFP stands for Certified Financial Planner. So I found myself more leaning on that end, and doing more research. I realized that the company I work for sponsors me. It could sponsor you as a CFP, so you could go to get school for free and all that good stuff. So I became a life insurance agent because I want to be a CFP. So to work my way up to a CFP. So that's how I ended up in this industry.
Awesome. And so then tell me, where did you see God in all of it?
Well, God is funny. So okay, so I have when I was younger, I used to keep like a diary of all the things I asked God what I wanted in life. And I wanted to dress up for work, to be a professional. I wanted to work in an office. I wanted to work close to home. So I wanted to work with money and just with people and always traveling. And God heard my prayers. And he gave me exactly, it took some time. It didn't happen overnight, of course, but he heard me and he designed this, I think, just specifically for me. Like it literally checked everything I wanted to do. And God is so good. And if we just continue to just wait on him, we might take a detour. Like I mentioned, I took a detour. I didn't think I was going to be a stay-at-home mom and working the job I was working, but God is faithful. So here I am as an insurance agent.
Awesome. Okay. And so I know in the Christian community, sometimes we don't really think about finances and linking it to faith. So tell me, as a Christian yourself and a CFP, right? How does your faith influence the way that you serve your clients?
Okay, so I was born and raised in the church, like going to church every Sunday, Bible school lessons, the choir, praise dance. I did all usher, right? So reading the word and not reading the word and knowing the word, right? But when life started lifing, when you get older and it started really like getting real adult problems, you couldn't go to your parents or your family or even church members to, help you because maybe probably dealing with guilt or shame or whatever the case might be. Then you had no choice. I had no choice but to lean on God and like to go to him with all my questions, with all my concerns, with all my everything. So I just got used to telling him everything that I was going through. And with that, I learned to trust him and to really like be in my word and take his word and build on that and keep and to know that it's a promise, right? Like to focus on the promise that he said and really be faithful in it. So I feel like we're going back to my clients, like just to listen to them, right? To be that listening ear. So they could be able to tell me their problems, what they're going through, what they're struggling with, and that will open ways for them to trust me. All right. So building that trust with my clients, the same way I had to build trust with God from him hearing me. I hear my clients, and I just use that to create that platform of trust. And then with that, be able to customize a plan that help them financially, gain their success and their future.
Love it. Love it, love it. We love somebody who's touching the finances and also praise, because it's like you never know what strategies you might get from the Lord that are just different,
Yep.
All right, awesome. And so when it comes to financial protection, things like life insurance and also just planning for the future overall, like why is that important for families or even like a young adult like myself today?
Well, there's two things that's certain in life, right? There's taxes. You can't avoid taxes, and you can't avoid death. So those are the two things that are gonna happen, right? So why not be smart and prepare for those two things, right? So life insurance and financial planning just helps make sure that you plan for the unexpected, so you can have more stability, more security, more ability to continue living the life that you want to live. So my father unfortunately passed away without insurance, leaving that financial burden, not only a financial burden, not only an emotional burden that, losing a loved one, it also creates a financial burden, right? But if we took the time and plan, because we know that it's going to happen sooner or later, right? We could have avoided all of that hardship, But by the grace of God, I have a family of 8. So it's
a lot of
come together and support each other in that. But if our life could have look way different if we had that in place for him. So now we have each other. We did it for my mom, like soon that So, but it shouldn't have taken that to realize, to get the insurance in place and the financial planning and all that to start going. So, yep.
Awesome. And so tell me, like, I feel like there's a lot of myths as well around like financial planning and life insurance. So what are some common misconceptions that people have about life insurance or finances in general?
Well, it all depends on who you're talking to, what kind of folks you're talking to. So you got your church folks, right? Church folks think that, their lives are in God's hands. He will make a way. And yes, that's true. But God also gave us a sound mind, and he gave us tools and resources to, be the provider of our own household, right? So we have to use what God gave us to use and to better for ourselves. He don't want us to be broke. He don't want to be us living paycheck to paycheck. He wants us to prosper, right? So why not take advantage of that? If you talk to working folks, they think that life insurance, they could get it through their jobs, right? My job, they got me. A lot of people don't know that your job, you're not going to be able to take that with you once you leave your job, or you could be underinsured because it's limited. You're not going to be able to get as much coverage. If you're talking to young folks like yourself, you probably think, I'm young, I'm healthy, I don't need it right now. That's true. That's great, right? You're going to wait till later, but waiting till later is going to cost you more. Right. So why not, be smart enough and get it now while it's more affordable? And to the penny pitchers, people be tight with their money. Their life insurance could be too expensive. So you could get term insurance, something more affordable now. Term insurance, you get $1 million coverage if you're 20 years old for $10. A lot of people don't know that they dramatically overestimate the cost of insurance. You have the people who procrastinate, right? Who wants to just push it off and wait. Oh, financial planning, I could wait till I earn more money. Let me get more money. Let me get more money. No, it's better to start now, right? So the earlier you start, that compound interest, if you know about investing, the snowball effect, do it as soon as possible. So it all depends on who you're talking to.
All right. I love it. I love that you gave the different people. Everybody got read just now in one of the categories.
Yep, I come across them all. So yep.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, definitely food for thought, things to think about. And as people say, it's one of those things that people don't want to think about, so they avoid it. But not thinking about it doesn't put you in a better place.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things. And so tell me, lastly, with all that you've learned, all the career switches and everything that's happened over the years, what has God been teaching you in this current season of your career?
Oof. God is teaching me to just trust myself and my capabilities, right? So I have to, because my gift and talent is not tangible, not something visible, and I struggle with that. I struggle with that, and I'm struggling sometimes now with it. I always have I'm always doubting myself because I can't see my gifts. If you ask people around me, they see it. I'm like, okay, great. Like I can't see
yeah.
So it's a constant struggle. But I see it. I see his hands over my life. I see him working, making everything work together for my good, right? Just like the beginning, I didn't see how I ended up as an insurance agent in this industry, but slowly but surely, he's making everything that I've been through in my life, personally, career-wise, making it all work together. So I'm grateful for that. So it's a work in progress, and I can't wait to see what God has in store for me. And yeah, it's amazing.
I love that. It's so true. And I feel like every believer goes through that. I was just talking to someone else about it. So it's really, I think it's in 1 Peter 5:9, I want to say, where it's like, just know that believers everywhere are going through the same struggles. Like, and it's true then when they were talking about persecution, and it's true now because maybe we're not getting persecuted for our beliefs, bless God, but in the mind, we're still getting mentally attacked by these same types of thoughts of not being good enough, not doing X, Y, and Z, and all of these other things. And a video I saw the other day that really shook me up because it was so such a drastic thing. It was this woman, and she said, God doesn't know what he's doing. That's what you should say every time he tells you to do something or he calls you to do something and you think you're not good enough, you think you're not enough. Just say God doesn't know what he's doing. And then you'll see how ridiculous you sound.
All right. That's a good.
I was like, yeah, because I'm scared to say that for real.
Yeah.
And so it's something that just catches you. And it's okay, when you feel yourself doubting your gifts, doubting what God called you to do, and he placed you there, just tell yourself, oh, he don't know what he's doing. Yeah. Now you sound crazy. And now you're
that's a good one.
It's wait, I am bugging. Because if I believe he's all knowing, then he's all knowing. So
all knowing. And more than that, we are created in his image, right?
Absolutely.
God is an all knowing God, and we are his daughters, right? Son and daughters. What? So it's a blessing, so I'm grateful.
There's something there, and it's him. So it's okay, what can I do in this earth as your vessel, And so it takes all kinds to do the things, like it says, we're all part of one body. Some parts are hidden and some parts are visible, but it said the hidden ones are very important, the most important. So even
I said, I'll pray I am, and I know I am,
And so that's what it is. It says it right there. It's not about everybody with a mic and maybe a singing or a dancer or whatever the case may be. The hidden parts keep the show going. What is a body without the intestines or without the brain or without the kidney? Something wrong with your lungs, you can't breathe. These parts are hidden, but they're very necessary for the movement of the entire unit. So
all right, Ed, thank you for encouraging me right now. You got it. Thank you.
It's all It's
I
all the
appreciate
Lord,
that.
it's not me. So glory to him for bringing his word back to my mind for this time. And so it just helps me to encourage myself in the Lord. And I'm glad you said like it encourages you too, because it's so true. And
It
we
is
go
true.
through so many things. So sometimes I'm just like, nah, the devil is a liar, because
He
you
is.
think like this, I'm thinking like this, like, nah. Let's bring the word out, because it
For real.
doesn't say. Thank you, Nancy. So that was my last question. Is there anything else that you want the people to know before we close?
Well, if anything I said, struck a chord with you, feel free to reach out to me. You can find me at nancy.vielle@newyorklife.com. And if you want more information, you can hit up the directory and find me there.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Nancy. It was amazing having you. We kept this nice, short, and sweet for you
That's how I
people.
like it. Yeah.
Amazing. So thank you guys again. My name is Annie. I'm the founder of the Christian Business Directory, and this can be you in our next episode. So if you are an entrepreneur and you are interested in getting your business some more exposure, if you're a nonprofit owner, we also accept nonprofits as well. So reach out to me via the links in my bio, and we can get to work. All right.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one.